Everybody, welcome tonight. It's obviously 8 p.m. That means it's time for
halfway through the day.
Halfway through. Time for Novak News. And joining us tonight always is Michael Bergio and the beautiful Brooke with us as well. And tonight we are going to be talking about...
Everybody, welcome tonight. It's obviously 8 p.m. That means it's time for
halfway through the day.
Just a bit of a technical issue.
Wouldn't be us if it wasn't.
We're all across it. But tonight we're going to be going out. So if you're a landlord, you're a tenant, you're looking to lease, looking to rent your property, want to know where this rental market's heading, we're going to be discussing all of that tonight and more. If you've got any questions, just jot them down and we'll answer them live as they come on through.
We've got Mark Novak behind the camera, making sure everything goes correctly to the best it can.
We're getting better.
Yeah.
So I guess opening up, Michael, what do you see? What do you guys see with the numbers currently sitting on the rental market? How does it compare to this time, last year, and where do you think it's positioned? What do you think, Brooke?
Yeah, so usually in the summer months, we've got about our stock levels are usually at around 15 properties available. And this year we've actually noticed huge numbers of 45 upwards. So definitely 4 times the stock that we usually have. So that's pretty huge.
Just means every tenant looking out there for previously where there would be 2 properties that may tick their boxes, there's 8, which is huge. And that's what landlords have to be wary of, cautious. They've got to know that instead of competing against one other or another property, they're now competing against 8 properties. And a lot of them are newer properties as well. So where have you seen, how's that affected pricing?
So usually for like a 2-bedder apartment, we were looking at about 600 per week.
In DY, just like the standard 1960s?
Yeah. And
thousands of
but
them.
in pretty good condition as well,
Yep.
about 600. And now we're seeing prices at around 550. And if they're not priced smack on, we're finding they're sticking on market for a little bit longer. So
how long? What would be the days on market if something's priced incorrectly? And what would the days on market be if something's priced well?
So for incorrectly, we're looking at 14 to 21, and we're having to do price adjustments anyway.
21 days?
Meeting the market, yeah.
So 2 to 3 weeks if it's incorrect?
Yeah, and if it's priced correctly, they could be gone the first showing.
Wow. No vacancy.
Yeah, so the really savvy landlords that have been, doing their research, when we come back with comparables before we go onto the market.
All being advised by their well-known agent.
Of course. So those ones, the properties are going really quickly. But the ones that are kind of holding on to the price that they are used to getting, they're the ones that are kind of still on the
Yeah. I think also it's good to note that even though you're priced correctly, what is the notice period now? If your tenant's vacating a property to move into ours, is it still 3 weeks they need to give before they can vacate a current lease?
Yeah, so if they're on a fixed lease term, if you're leading up to the end of the lease agreement, it's 14 days they need to give.
Yeah, right.
And then if it goes on to a continual lease, which is month to month, they have to give 21 days.
So I guess for landlords, sorry Mike, but I guess for landlords then, even if you've got a tenant that may love your home, they might need to give 3 weeks notice. So if they love it today, it might not even be 3 weeks till they move in. Yeah. So it's really important to get that price right. Yeah.
And also, if you've got a proactive agent where if they've got to give 3 weeks notice, you get your property on the market straight away. If it's priced correctly, then we can generally have at least straight away. Therefore, it minimises the vacancy for the property.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And if for a landlord out there who it's been on the market, it's been empty for say 4 to 5 weeks, they probably haven't really given it much love over the last couple of years. There's a lot of new properties coming on, which is new to DY. So tenants really have the pick of the what's the name? Cream of the crop? Pick of the crop?
Pick of the bunch.
Pick of the bunch, whatever it is. They've really got the pick of the bunch. from a lot of the renovated 1960s to a lot of the new stocks. There's new development behind us. So what would you recommend, or what do we offer? How can we help? What would you do?
So with a lot of my landlords, we've been doing some renovations. So like your simple renos are refreshing the carpet and the paint. So that's for a 2-bedder, we're looking at $3,000 for carpet and $4,000 for paint.
But if I'm a landlord, when I hear that, I'm thinking, I'm busy at work, I don't have time to organise a renovation, I'd rather just let it sit there. How can we help with that busy landlord who doesn't even have time to go to the shops, never alone do a full renovation?
That's why you have me.
So we offer the full renovation
Yeah, so
package.
with any landlord that I have, I project manage the entire renos, and a lot of them even give me the power to, they're just like, yep, go do it, and I go out and I pick all the colours.
Were you in Bunnings yesterday or the day before?
Yeah, I went down to Bunnings and I was shopping all the bench tops.
Serious?
Yeah. I went down and I had a look at all the different floors.
Yeah.
Because our handyman, Chris, he's used to doing like your run of the mill, like he would just go out and pick things, but now
Needs a woman's touch.
Yeah, now I'm on board. He probably hates it.
Yeah.
But I'm now picking like a bit more fun stuff. All neutral.
Yep.
But it's just like a little bit of, classy.
Going in the salad is
Yeah.
So it's a good idea. I mean, a lot of agents, everyone will say they're proactive and they're doing the right thing to rent property, but in this case, Brooke really is going beyond, you know, pretty much any other agency out there to deliver for her clients. And obviously, this money spent is tax deductible. It's expense on your investment. It's going to return, 10 times over the span of the next probably 10 years. The property's looking great. Better rents, fewer days on market. Lower vacancy rates, putting more money in your owner's pocket.
And you look at the money people spend on their cars, maintaining that, and that thing depreciates in value. And you've got your asset that's
Real estate agent.
Hey, but then you look at your property, which is probably most people's largest asset and their source of their wealth creation, and they're not watering the plant. You can say, watering the seed.
That's a great saying.
Said correctly. Yeah. So that's saying. So invest into it. Like people invest more in insurance for their car in case they crash it, never back into their property.
Yeah. And also with all these renos, you're also attracting like a really nice tenant as well.
Tenant.
Yeah. And also they're going to want to stay on longer as well.
Yeah.
So that's also keeping
Win-win, isn't it?
Yeah, your vacancy to a minimum.
Yeah.
You've got to keep them happy.
And the turnover. So you may find one tenant that lasts 3 or 4 years. Therefore, no vacancy, no letting fees, no marketing, no stress. You can go on a cruise, enjoy work, and not have to worry about your property.
Yeah.
So then, what would your advice be to tenants wanting to? Because obviously, there's always, I think, one of the not complaints, but the hardest thing you always hear is tenants trying to apply for a property, either other agencies not calling them back about their application or not being approved. What advice, because you've had many years experience in leasing, what did you see between a good application, and it's not talking about what they earn or anything like that, just how it's presented to you, the information they provide. What do you look for in a good tenant for your landlords, and how do you advise the landlords what to pick?
Okay, so when you're applying, you really need to be prepared and have all your supporting documentation. So the most annoying thing is to come in on the Monday and they're good applications, but we're having to chase people for pay slips, proof of income, their IDs, all of that. So just, preparing when you view a property. And you can even give them to the agent, have it all printed out. We've got, the paper applications, but with one form, you basically upload all your documents on there. and then when you go out on Saturday, fire it out there.
Yeah. And for people that don't know what that is, what is one form, and how does a tenant like how do they get to one form? How do they find that?
So,
The older guys.
It's already printed off.
Yeah. But if I'm a tenant
In the
now
cloud.
and I want to apply for a property, how do I get to one
Shoots
form?
from the cloud
What do I
down.
have to do there?
so one form is on, like, every real estate agent uses it.
Is it on realestate.com?
Realestate.com domain, and most agents have it on their website. So basically, it's just a it's
Third-party
one
system.
application you have to fill out, and then you can apply literally to any agency. So you're not having to keep on writing it all
submitting.
out.
Which would save so much time, because as a tenant each company would have their own process and application forms, even though it may be everyone wants the same information, they've all got it in probably 15 different languages, so it'd be confusing as hell. So one form, it sounds like you, as a tenant, you can pre-upload your application, have it all filled, then you go to the property and view it, hit send, it goes straight to the agent, all the info, because I would imagine, correct me if I'm wrong, if you may be the better applicant, but then if you don't have all the information, and that owner, like, first thing they're chasing us on Monday saying, what have we got, let's rent it out, and if we go, we've got an 8 out of 10 applicant, but then you may be a 10 out of 10 if you provided all the info, but we're chasing you, the landlord's going to go with the 8 out of 10.
Yeah, they're
So
gonna,
whoever's got all the info.
yeah, and also the agent will. So if we've got 2 apps, you may be better than the other one, but the one application has everything ready to go. You know, real estate agents are busy, and we don't have time to be chasing every single applicant for their documents. So if we've got one app that's got everything, and they can afford it, you know, we've done all their checks and it comes back all good, and the landlord approves it, they're going to definitely go for that one.
And how long should that take? So you hear a lot of, I hear when I'm out, people are like, oh, I've applied, haven't heard, like 4 days later. Like, what's the process? Generally out there, is it within an hour, 6 hours, 6 weeks? How long is the application? It's not alone.
With other agencies, probably like 4 to 6 weeks. But with our agency, if you have everything submitted, we'll have it done, you know, as soon as we get in, we'll have it printed. We could have it approved within the hour. You know.
How many did you do today?
Me personally, I did 6 today.
Wow. 6 applications in a day.
6
Wow.
properties leased.
Yeah.
How many were leased last month?
How many?
60.
How many for the team?
7.
From 2. And I'm not too sure what Leo did. But yeah, I
You
got
did
lucky.
22.
I got lucky today because I had really good apps come through.
The harder you work, the luckier you get.
I
hear that a
actually
lot.
had I
Yeah.
had one app,
And
one property
don't give out any names.
that we had 10 apps on today, and
Sorry.
we got $100 more. Right per week.
For the landlord.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's like stoked.
Massive.
Yeah,
Wow.
$100, and we had 10 applications on that one. But that one was a perfect example of pricing right.
Yep.
So the landlord was quite conservative with the rent, and it was like a primo property. So when we did the first showing, that was the first showing on Saturday, and people like just went nuts for it. And then they were the ones putting in higher offers. So in most cases, I've found that when they are really conservative with the price, especially the first week, because I find the first week is really the most important time. Yeah, because it's come on and it's new.
Yeah, they got one chance of first impression.
Exactly.
I got it.
And then because you then go down the line, and when they're looking at properties, they've seen it.
Yeah.
And then if it's on the next week, they think, why is it on there?
Wrong with it?
And then they just don't even turn up. But it would have been, yeah.
That's enough about rentals.
So one other question from Lisa Novak. She wants to know, what are we doing in rentals that's different?
question.
Rewind 7 minutes.
Yeah, we'll take that next.
Next. So in summary, the rental market is softer out there, so landlords have to be quite conservative with price and invest into their property with renovations, keeping it upkeep, because there are a lot of new properties on the market. And like Monaval says,
I'll get to that, but just to finish off on the rental thing, another thing also is just, I think if you're a tenant and you're coming through and you're seeing a property you love on the weekend, don't wait till Monday. You've got to understand behind the scenes, you don't know the operations of a real estate, but we're having crucial conversations with our landlords from 12 o'clock till 6, 7 o'clock on that Saturday evening. So we're going to be speaking to them at a perfect time for you to already submit an application. We can take it to them, have that conversation, and they can make a quicker decision on the day, rather than you wait till Monday and come back to the landlord. The landlord's maybe overthought the situation. So it's really good if you are a tenant, you want to apply, put it in early. Firstly, it shows that you've got initiative and you're keen on the property. And like I said, this is a time frame as agents we're having crucial conversations with our landlords and our owners about real estate.
And by waiting Monday just allows other people to put the application in. We're open Sunday, 10 till 4. Yep. So get down here, come ask for Brooke. She'll help you fill out your application form, and she'll get it leased straight away. You heard her. 4 to 6 hours on a Sunday.
Done.
10 a.m. till 4.
She never sleeps.
Never sleeps.
No.
See? Perfect.
But yeah, it's win-win.
Yeah.
Win-win.
Sort of, be aggressive.
Yeah, that's good. But yeah, Michael just asked me about Monaval. So I live in Monaval. I'm big on Monaval. I love Monaval.
Warriewood.
Yeah, Warriewood's big too. But the good news is it could be political talk just to get us to vote a certain way.
The tunnel going to
The
Warriewood.
tunnel's going, it's
Into
going
Warriewood.
straight to Palm Beach. So
Is
everyone
that
there,
through the dam?
you've got to sell if you're in Palm Beach now. But the good news is there's been a big talk of this injection of funds coming into Monaval. For those of you that drive Monaval Road recently, roadworks have already started to expand it from a 2-lane to a 4-lane process from Monaval to Terry Hills.
Wow.
So stage 1 will be ending in May, and then that'll be commencing again later in the year. And they'll be turning at least that run of Monaval Road into a 4-lane
organised. They've both
run.
got papers and notes.
$150 million going into that project there. The other news is that if you've got kids at Monaval Public School, there's going to be an injection of about $140 million coming in there. And plans are to build a performance centre, performing arts centre, also remove a few demountables and put new classrooms in there with new air conditioning and new facilities. So an area that is always considered to be quite a liberal seat in the sense of politics. It's good to see some money coming in there, and the residents being looked after.
So when will the road kick? So there'll be 2 lanes there and back, or
two lanes up and down. The works have started.
Monaval Road.
Monaval Road.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that will go all.
So
Is that
everything's there? Yeah.
how far that will go up to Terry Hills, or how?
It will run to Terry Hills. It's projected the second stage will start, Michael, later this year. Is estimated to end 2022.
Done.
Yeah, so
It'll be finished by 20. Wow.
Yes.
Ish.
We'll say yes by
Over budget or under budget?
Oh, definitely.
Who cares? Just money.
And then Monaval Surf Club also getting a major revamp in there as well. 2.5 million contributed from local council to turn that into a community centre down there as well. So good news if you're in Monaval, all those surrounding suburbs, you can get down and enjoy those
Or if
facilities.
you want to be in Monaval, I have a block of land. It's 800
Yeah.
square metres. You can get in Monaval for 930,000 and build your dream home. Yeah, look at all the works that are coming into it.
Everything's going on.
And Michael Edwards wants to know, is it a free coffee 10 to 4 on Sundays?
Absolutely. Michael, come in. You can come now. We'll give you a coffee right now.
And Brooke will do it on Sunday.
Brooke will
And
do it
we'll
on
do it
Sunday.
Sunday, 10
Sunday.
to 4.
That's a
And your
yes.
application.
That's a yes.
Beautiful. Clearance rates as well. I thought I'd bring out some stats and figures. I know Lisa loves them. So clearance rates on Saturday were 63%. To put that in perspective, this time last year, this week was 64%. Last year was 63%. So pretty strong rates, considering you hear all the crap in the media about the market. It's 64% is pretty strong. But I would take note on the amount of properties that went to auction this time last year was 804.
How many this time?
Only 600. So it's 30% less properties going to auction. So I also think that is, we did see rates drop as low as 45-50%, where I feel that was a lot of agents and vendors not adapting to the type of market we were. They were still where your average run-of-the-mill property, they're still throwing to auction, which is just not that competition out there. So I feel buyers are adapting to the market and seeing more confidence in buying because it's levelling out, but also with the rates now, agents and vendors have been more selective on what they put to market, which we're seeing an increase in the rates, which I suppose that's our common denominator, what people read to see the positive, if the market's good or bad. So it's good to see it going up. Buy property.
What are you going to say about auction clearance rates, Brooke?
Yeah.
I kind of glazed over just then.
Just like blanket lock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rob Stokes, Liberal candidate for Pittwater and Motorvale Surf Club member and legend bloke. Rob Stokes. Boom. Thanks for that, Michael. Michael's commenting that Rob Stokes is a bit of a weapon, so that's good to know. What else we got to talk about?
What else?
I think we got can't hear guys from Lisa.
Oh.
Yeah, that's stopped. That's stopped now. That's stopped. That's gone. She did a lot of those in the beginning, but I think
turn her phone up.
I think it's all okay now. Luke Moroney agreed, but he seems he's all happy now. But no, it's all. That's it for the Facebook questions. What else we got? What other firepower we got tonight?
Firepower. We've got deals going on. Market's moving, like Michael just mentioned, but Friday I did 2 deals today, got an offer accepted on another property. I'm working on a fourth by Monday. So buyer activity seems to be good right now.
This March is the busiest 2 weeks we've had compared to any 2 weeks prior. Do you want to talk about that in last year? Like, it was a phenomenal amount of exchanges just in the last 3 weeks compared to this time last year. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, I think it's also a lot of buyers like leveling out, they're adapting. There's a lot of hype or questions starting this year with the Royal Commission and everything. I think people are starting to see it level, and I know myself when I'm talking to buyers, a lot of it's not about the property, it's about the market, the positive. So I'm reassuring people that property is a great way for wealth creation, and just deciphering, like you would have it as well, it's like, are you an investor or your own occupier? And we sort of have different conversations on how we guide them to get them to feel happy about buying, because everyone still wants to buy, they're just second guessing, they're asking.
I think a lot of people are starting to realise, look, for a 12-month run where there was all this stuff in the news and the papers and so on, and I think everyone's realised, you know what, it was there to sell newspapers.
Yeah.
The market's softened. There's opportunities for everybody, and people are taking advantage of those opportunities, whether you're selling and moving to something else or.
I think we've got an intruder at Novak. What is that?
You just wanted to be in because you're a car.
It's our Sunday receptionist.
We're not talking about Meriton next week.
I'll leave it.
But if you want to buy Meriton,
call us because we'll show you.
We did a couple. There's been quite a few deals in the last 7 days.
It's really picked up.
Yeah.
4 deals.
Yeah, 3 or 4.
4 in 7 days.
Yeah.
Meriton, DY, full sale. Hey.
They're big units, that wind tunnel, I love it. It's cool. It's like permanent aircon. There's a great apartment that faces onto it, 322 for 115, huge 3-bedder. So you don't even need the aircon. You open those doors, it rushes through.
Good to know, thank you.
It's a great precinct. It's up and coming, but I think we've given it plenty of airtime the last couple of weeks.
It's a good one.
Any other suburbs we want to give airtime to tonight, where we think, wow, that's a place to be? Bit of any little tips for rentals or for sales?
Sales-wise, I think I spoke about it a few weeks ago where I had a few listings coming on, and that was Freshwater. Buyer activity is still very, very strong through there. One of the properties has gone under contract. The second one I'll be expecting to be sold or under contract within a matter of hours on that one too. So Freshwater, definitely, if you're in there, your market's performing very strongly. Throughout the last 14 days there, we've had in excess of 60 buyers through 2 properties.
Whoa.
So, yeah.
And Warriewood Land, you guys have had a massive. I'm seeing your Warriewood Land all over the media. Now, can you just tell us quickly what that is?
Yes, so we've got, what's the road called? I always forget.
I think it's called Boogaloo Road. Boogaloo Street and Laura Peak Road.
I think we're missing a street somewhere, were we?
No.
Not yet. Phenomenal opportunity. Like we're seeing, especially even in today's market where there was a lot of pressure where housing land prices started going crazy, 1.6, 1.7. So when we sold the block and we were sitting down with the developer and we were getting feedback from buyers on what they wanted, people were willing to, everyone still wanted the house.
but a lot of the feedback was we don't want the maintenance, we don't want the grass. So we came up with a product which weren't competing with houses because keep in mind they're starting at 1.6. We wanted to compete against the townhouses and offer the freestanding home, which traditionally, like most homes are 200 square metres internal, like even from the 60s, and the single 3 beds, they're 130. We're offering the same size home, but on a smaller block of land, so less maintenance and a much sharper price point where you can get a brand new freestanding house for about $1,070,000 or 2-story for under 1.2, which is phenomenal. It's cheaper than a townhouse.
We saw strong numbers over the weekend down there, and the good thing too, we're also tailoring some financial packages. So if you're looking to buy down there, it's going to be really sharp to help you buy that land and put that home.
Yeah, you can actually do, at the moment in the market where you're forced to, most loans are P&I, you can actually do interest only on the land. So I know a lot of people steer away from this type of structure because they're worried about paying rent where to live while you build. So knowing you don't have to do P&I and interest only on the land, we've got builders who can guarantee the build they'll be there in about 4 months, depending on weather and any other unexpected delays. But when you're looking at, because someone goes, what's that going to be worth? And we sort of come to go, if a townhouse on 160 square metres land, 3 stories strata, sells for 135 to 145, and you're going to bring a single level home, comfortably going to be 1.4. So if you're in it for 1.1, even if you whack out the credit card to pay for that rent in that interim, it's going to be worth it in the long run. Yeah. You've got to play the long game.
What's it going to rent for us for an investor, Brooke? Like a 3-bedroom, 1-level house in Warriewood?
Hard hitting question.
Yeah.
11 to 1,200 a week.
Oh, spot on.
Wow, well done. That's a 5% return.
Yeah.
So it's a good opportunity. The market's still presenting itself quite well with a number of opportunities. Yeah.
Anything else? Any more questions from all our viewers out there?
Yeah.
Mark Novak Finance Proprietary Limited ?
Finance.
Close, but not quite. It's
Are you
not Mark.
financing
It's
it?
not Mark Novak Finance. Who's funding?
Meriton Office Finance, if you're interested in one of those.
Merit. Oh, that's a great thing to talk about briefly,
Yeah.
and also Christian Stevens, his finance on the land is nice to talk about with Shaw Partners.
Definitely. So we've found, it's been the last, to be frank, a lot of deals, we've had about 6-7 deals fall over due to finance. So instead of being a silly real estate agent, keep hitting our head against the wall and not wondering why I'm not getting anywhere, we've teamed up with Shaw Financial, who just won some award, largest broker, independent. They're great with Christian Stevens down there to really tailor-make packages and a structure that can get buyers over the line. Because what I've found, land's unique. So if you're a buyer and you just stroll into your local bank and go, I'm buying land, there's not much land out here. It's not a common transaction.
The person you're talking to, rarely has that conversation.
Or knowledge.
How to service the client correctly, either on the lending side.
So they're getting misinformation. All we want to do is make the process easy because we see tremendous value where you can get a freestanding home for 1.1, like brand new. So to get that finance world is a little unknown and daunting, and you don't know which direction to go in.
Yeah.
So we're great to announce we'll be teaming up with Shaw Financial to help buyers in that direction. You don't have to use them, but at least use their advice and the information packs we're putting through to help you get across the lines, just like we've done with the builders as well.
Just another brain to pick to give you ideas on how you can move
And it's
forward.
free.
Yeah.
Costs you nothing.
Meriton 3% 3 years.
Oh, phenomenal.
9% no AVR.
Yeah. So you could buy that big 3-bedder 322 on the wind tunnel with 3% finance.
But if you guys run a scenario on 3% on an 882 bedroom unit, that means they're living in there for $400 a week, $450 a week. Sorry,
Well,
$500 a week,
Well, the
$550
last
a week.
2-bedder we did was 721. We rented that for $820 a week. That was a purchase price of $765, which is a 5-6% return on residential.
Wow.
That's phenomenal. Depreciation over years, I'm sure it's good numbers. Don't you agree? Great. I think that's Novak News for Monday edition, 8 p.m. with Brooke and Stefan.
Thanks for joining
We'll
us.
see you next week, guys.
See you guys.
Try and